I have been watching it from the beginning, and year by year it is getting bigger, more dense. And I think as India is growing, Electrama is growing even faster than the country is growing. But it is really showcasing all the technologies, all the new kinds of demand, supply. Foreign visitors are increasing. A lot of people are relying on India. So all, it's a very good show. Yeah. We have about five different verticals in which operate. There is automation that we do, there is test and measurement instruments that we do, there is solar inverters that we do. So in each area we try to bring whatever latest technology. Every product is going through changes, innovations, additional features, new models. For example, in the solar inverter, we had from 3 kilowatt onwards. Today we have got from 3 kilowatts, and it is in the aluminum housing which is very light. So we are showcasing that. In the automation section, we have a lot of LCD meters which can measure individual harmonics. So we are displaying that. These are relatively new developments. Multimeter, of course, we have for solar. We have made new multimeters and clamp meters. So each and every area, whatever we have developed in the last 2-3 years since COVID came, we are trying to display that at the Electrama exhibition. First thing is we have a company called ESL, Energy Solutions Lab, where they do a lot of work on measuring the consumption at various places and displaying them in a manner by which people can see it, and it gives them an area where improvements are possible. The solar inverter that we have is directly connected to the cloud, and the minute by minute reading is picked up and displayed. Again, people can see what is the efficiency of the solar segment. And recently we have tied up with IIT Jodhpur to make a center for green energy. We are trying to convert as much as we can from conventional energy to green energy. So there will be a lot of students working on this project. They will try to find new avenues both for generation of green energy and for storage. Storage today, everybody knows, is the biggest challenge. Otherwise solar energy is very good, but it's only unfortunately available only during the day. If we can make an inexpensive device where you can store energy generated during the day and use it at any time you want, then this will be a real solution. So IIT Jodhpur, in collaboration with Rishabh, has founded the Rishabh Center for Green Energy, and we are doing innovation, entrepreneurship for people to develop such green energy and storage of such green energy. See, this is the need of the whole world. Why government of India, but you talk of the whole world, nobody wants polluting energy. At the moment, there are some green energy sources, but even they are not completely green, in the sense that where they generate and consume, probably you don't generate, but where you manufacture the solar panels, there is still a challenge. You use chemicals which need a lot of energy to produce, for example, silicon. So I think one by one, people will go, backwards to really make sure that green is really green. At the moment, green is not really green. It's orange, in the sense that the place where you consume or you generate the energy probably doesn't it, but all the equipment which is required, that needs a lot of energy to be used, which again has to come from coal or maybe some part of it from renewable. But I'm sure, mankind and especially Indian companies are working hard to make sure that this will becomes completely green, that even in the manufacturing of the equipment which is required to generate green energy, use a minimum of energy and a minimum of green energy. PLI scheme is a very good scheme. It is very successful. I would say, in my view, it's a very successful scheme. It is helping companies to take a leapfrog into areas which they were otherwise only thinking. So many industries have taken a decision to invest. Both the PLI scheme of the government of India and the state schemes. In Maharashtra, we have what they call it as Maharashtra Electronics Policy, where they are subsidizing investment or sometimes subsidizing the production. So all these are giving the Philips in any new project that was set up or any new innovation that you do, there is no guarantee that it will be success. But when you get such recognition from the government or even financial support from the government, it increases your risk-taking ability. So PLI schemes have been doing that. All of us know the big PLI schemes where we are trying to make semiconductor devices. I'm sure it will be a great success, although there may be delays. We planned it in 3 years, it may take 5 years to be fully operational. But once it is fully operational, today all of you would know, after petroleum, our biggest import bill goes in electronics. Now, if we can reduce that, passive components we produce a lot, but active components, there is really no production or very little production, especially when you talk of high-end VLSI and microcontroller kind of devices. Government is focusing, private sector is focusing. I hope if not the next Elecrama, the Elecrama after that, there would be devices coming out from our own indigenous factories. India is doing much better than the world. Our Prime Minister declared targets. We have reached many of the targets even before he has declared the dates. And the speed at which we are going, I always say, India will become the solar capital of the world. Already a lot of technologies are being developed, and like we became the vaccination center for the world. Vaccines produced here were being supplied to so many countries. The next in line, I'm sure, will be the solar technologies. Not only that we produce solar, but we will be supplying solar technologies to many countries in the world, because what is our problem is the problem in many countries. Like we have Rajasthan and Gujarat, which have the maximum solar irradiation. Now, to use all that irradiation to increase the efficiency of the solar cells is a challenge. People have done quite well, I would say, but still we are at an efficiency of less than 40% in the solar cells. Now, if we can increase that and the research in our country can do something, then this can be applied in many other countries. The Western countries have nearly given up on solar energy. India has not given up. India is very hopeful. There are, of course, problems with the grid, stability of the grid, but I think one by one we will solve all these problems, and if the support remains from the government, any new technology needs support. Nothing really takes off. Our government is quite conscious. They understand it. They incentivize solar energy when it came. Now, of course, they have to incentivize green energy, which I'm sure they will do. And eventually, we will become the solar capital of the world. No, first of all, we are conscious of the self-consumption of the products that we make. But other than that, we now, all over the world, and especially in India, we talk about power quality. So we try to measure each and every parameter of the electricity, from basic parameters like voltage, current, frequency, power factor, to more advanced parameters like swells, like dips, like harmonics, like transients. So when we do all that, and when people are able to not only measure but use corrective devices to remove harmonics or to remove, to make power factor as close to unity as possible, this definitely not only increases the stability of the grid but reduces the energy which is required to be either generated. All of us know that reactive energy is something which is not to be used, not to be generated, but because of the devices that we use, it becomes mandatory. Now, if you can correct that, and if you can use power factor correction devices, if you can use active harmonic filters to remove the harmonic which are in the line, then it will go a long way in terms of reducing the energy consumption and increasing the quality and the devices which are using this energy.